Hi, thanks for joining me. I'm just working on a jig here to work on the end of the neck here, and I'll show you that in an upcoming video. But today we have been invited, you and I, to make a trip to Utah to go to Jim's workshop and have a look at what a luthier's workshop really looks like. And boy, am I envious of him. He's got a great shop, and we're about to have a look at it right after we spin the intro. We are back, and let's take a look at Jim's workshop. This is spectacular. Notice as you walk into this workshop, his bench is on the left, a bench on the right, and a bench at the far end of the shop. This is kind of cool. I like the fact that he has here, and you'll see some other pictures of this in a moment, a special luthier's vise, as you can see it, where the guitar and the red posts on either side, those are flexible post pieces that will accommodate any size of neck, and it's really kind of neat to see that. I notice at the far end he's got a disc sander, which is used all the time, as well as a spindle sander, a jigsaw, and by the looks of it, a drill press. I really like this. He's got storage bins down on the lower right-hand corner there, and you can see his very special coffee mug sitting there, probably full of tea. Now, if we look at the next photo that he has given us, we get a close-up of his guitar that he's working on, and you can see the vise a little more clearly here, and how that wheels in to tighten it up. The wood that you see on either side of the neck, that's flexible, and that allows him to work on a banjo. It allows him to work on a guitar, any kind of neck thickness at all, because it swivels and it moves. That looks like a dreadnought to me, but it may not be, and it looks like he's got it amplified. Now, I really want to point out a couple of things in the background of this picture. How do you like that tool chest? Oh my goodness, is that beautiful? That's old. I'm sure that's been around in his family for quite a while. My guess is it probably belonged to his dad, or maybe to his grandfather. I don't know, but that would be really neat to have all your shells stored in there, and special files and chisels. Oh, just a great piece of craftsmanship in that particular cabinet. Up on the right, if you look at about 1 o'clock, you'll see a U-shaped piece. That's used for measuring the depth of a top or a back in different places, so you can make sure that you've got uniform thickness all the way through this. That's kind of special. I like this a lot. Jim, wow, how cool is that? Now, if you look across in the opposite direction, you'll see what I really like to see is he's got the plans on the wall there, so that he can go and measure the plans, look at the sizes of what he's making, and it looks to me like he's making a Martin guitar there based on the bracing. I could be wrong, but that looks like that's what it is. He's got his stereo system at the top, and a pattern as well. That's pretty smart. Now, if we go back to the end of the shop, you get a much more clear picture of his drill press, his jigsaw. It looks to me like above the jigsaw at the back, I can't quite make it out. It almost looks like a Dremel tool that he would use in there for doing inlay work. And of course, his spindle sander. You'll notice there's clamps there. Another U-clamp just to the left of the spindle sander. You'll see that that clamp is used for attaching the bridge to the guitar. So that's kind of cool. Good stuff. Now, there's some really neat things to notice in this particular picture. First of all, his bench is, I think, the same one I have. And I have built shelves underneath it, and I've also made a cabinet and put it down underneath, which you can't see. I'll show you this on a future tour with drawers in it, and then there's a slide-out drawer like he has here for different things. I like the way he's got his clamps on the end of the bench. That's really handy, and I've done the same thing here. But there's something very special on this particular bench. Notice where the guitar is seated. It's sitting on an auxiliary workbench that he's made for the top of the guitar. If we move along and we see what it looks like without the guitar on it, forget Kermit in the background, we'll talk about him in a minute, but take a look at this bench. That is so handy to have because it raises up the guitar to a good working height. It allows it to move into that vise properly. It's padded, but notice the plywood and the rounded corners, which I really like. He's able to clamp different things that he's working on at the particular time on this top. Now, if he's working on the back and he's carving it, or he's working on the top and he's carving that or sanding it, whatever he's doing, he can put spring clamps on either side and hold that tight, and it's not moving anywhere. I really like that. In fact, one of those is going to set up in my shop very soon. I'm going to make me one of those because it's really a great idea. Now, underneath his bench, just below the forms that you see at the top, he's got a little stash. He's got a stash of wood. And I see some backs, and it looks like some tops on the right-hand side there. And it looks like he's got some mahogany neck wood sitting in there. And it looks like he's got some wood here for the peg heads, etc. And the mahogany is running across at the top, as you can see. That's kind of neat. I'm kind of envious. I don't have that much wood on hand, but I like what he's got going on there. Now, if we look into his garage here, we can see a couple of things. He's got a bandsaw sitting there, and to the left of it, it's a cabinet saw, which is a table saw, but it's a bigger saw that's mounted on the bottom, and it's got big wings on it. Really great for cutting what he needs. But look at the room that he has. He's got his workshop, and he's got space in his garage. This bench is great. I really, really like it. And then if you examine the next photo, and I like this, there's Kermit in jail. This is a Go-Bar deck. It looks like it's from LMI. And he's got his guitar, he's gluing down the top of the guitar. Notice on the wall he's got an electric guitar neck sitting there, and that's going to obviously match up with some body at some point. At least I assume that's an electric guitar. It looks like it. Well, that's Jim's workshop in a nutshell. It's a great shop. It's a Luthier's workshop. And Jim apparently is working, that guitar is number 7 for him. And that is great. Way to go, man. I love that. And so I can't wait to see number 8. Send me pictures. And number 9, send me pictures, because we'll put them up there for everybody to see, because I'm sure they're interested in this. So thank you for sending those in. Now, if you haven't sent your pictures of your shop, would you please do so? Also, I would like to have a segment where we're going to do a video on our favorite tool. And so if that happens to be the router, if that happens to be a chisel, or whatever it is, whatever woodworking tool you like the most, would you send me a snapshot of it and tell me why you like it? And we'll see about doing a video on tools that we use in the workshop. Well, that's it for me. Thank you very much for joining me. I'm delighted you're here. Don't forget there's links down below. It's been an overcast day, but I'm going outside for a walk by myself, all alone, with nobody around me. And you do the same. Stay safe and stay healthy. We'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.